Hello students, today we are going to see the next part of this first lesson. Students, let's move to the measurement of mass. Already we saw the measurement of length. Mass of a body is defined as the quantity of matter which is contained in a body. The SI unit to measure mass is kilogram. These may vary from a tiny mass of electron which is 9.11 into 10 to the power minus 31 kg to the huge mass. Let me introduce the mass of a universe, that is 10 to the power 5 kilo 55 kilogram. Now, how can you weigh the things which are here? Grocery and vegetables in shop, we use common balance, spring balance and electronic balance. For large masses like planets, stars, can you weigh the planets and stars using a common balance or a spring balance? No. It's not possible. So we use the gravitational methods. I will teach you about that also. Then small masses of atomic and subatomic particles are weighed using the mass spectrogram. Then measurement of time interval. A clock is used to measure the time interval. As you know, Sir Isaac Newton gave a quote that time flows uniformly forward. Okay, so a clock is used to measure the time interval. An atomic standard of time is based on the periodic vibration produced in a cesium atom. Some of the clocks developed later are electric oscillators, electronic oscillators, solar clock, quartz crystal clock, atomic clock, and decay of elementary particles, then radioactive dating are some of the clocks developed later in our universe. Students, read the table 1.7 order of time intervals, which are purely 1 mark based questions. Okay, and these are the base questions for the problems asked in future for you. Let's move to the next part, which is theory of errors. The results obtained from any measurement will contain some uncertainty. Such an uncertainty is termed as error. Any calculations made using the measured values will have an error. It is not possible to make exact measurements in an experiment. We cannot be a god. Okay, that's why in measurements two different terms, accuracy and precision, are used and need at any stage. What do you mean by this accuracy? Accuracy refers to how far we are from the true value. Okay. Then the precision means it refers to how well we measure. It's very important, isn't it? In engineering projects such as the road and utility constructions, they require very precise information measured to the millimeter or 1/10 of an inch. For example, if the temperature outside the building is 40 degrees centigrade as measured by a weather thermometer, and if the real outside temperature is 40 degrees centigrade, then the thermometer is accurate. If the thermometer consistently registers this exact temperature in a row, then the thermometer is precise. This is the right thing. See, I have given the pictures about this precise and accurate. See, in the first picture, This is the accurate or precise position, but no shots, gunshots or balls have the precise place. So this picture is not accurate and not precise. In the second one, they are not accurate. Okay, they are not accurate, but they are precise in one area. Here in the third picture, they are accurate and they are also precise. I think you all know about the difference in between the word accuracy and the word. Now, errors in measurement that we have in our day-to-day life. If you visited a ration shop, okay, you can see lot of errors in their measurements. The first part of the errors in measurement is systematic errors. Systematic errors are reproducible inaccuracies that are consistently in the same direction. These occur due to a problem that persists throughout the experiment. Okay, it will happen. Then, what are the types of systematic errors? Let's see. First one, instrumental error. We can give the error to the instrument. We usually do. Is it? First one, instrumental errors. When an instrument is not calibrated or constructed properly at the time of manufacture, instrumental errors may arise. These errors can be corrected by choosing the instrument carefully. Here, if a measurement is made with a meter scale whose end is worn out, the resultant obtained will have errors. Second one, imperfections in experimental technique or procedure. These errors arise due to the limitations in the experimental arrangements. And for example, while performing experiments with a calorimeter, okay, we will do this calorimeter experiment in 8th lesson for 11th standard. If there is no proper insulation, that means we have to insulate that calorimeter with the proper material to stop the temperature. Using the calorimeter, the temperature will go come out from the calorimeter experiment kit. So we have to preserve the temperature. That's the experiment. There will be radiation losses. These results in error. To overcome these, necessary corrections has to be. Then personal errors. This will be the main error in nowadays. These errors are due to individual performing the experiment, maybe due to incorrect initial setting up of a experiment or carelessness of the individual making the observations due to improper precautions. Imagine if a physical education director is having a stop clock with him. If he ons the clock before the startup of a 100-meter race, then could you imagine the result? Yeah, for 100-meter, that boy or girl will take nearly 20 minutes or 2 hours to reach that 100-meter because he already make on the stop clock. This will happen. These are personal errors. Then fourth one, errors due to external causes. Let's see what are the change in the external conditions during an experiment can cause error in measurement. For example, change in temperature, humidity or pressure during the measurements or affect the result of the measurement. Then least count error. Least count is the smallest value that can be measured by the measuring instrument, and the error due to this measurement is least count error. The instrument resolution hints is the cause of this error. That's the main part. Okay, that resolution has to be made correct, then only we can rectify this error. Actually, the least count error can be reduced by using a high precision instrument for the measurement. Now, random errors. Random errors may arise due to random and unpredictable variations in experimental conditions like pressure, temperature, voltage supply, etc. Errors may also be due to personal errors by the observer who performs the experiment. That's why I told about the physical education director. If he do that error, it will be a great error in counting the time of a running. Random errors are sometimes called as chance error. For example, let me give an example. Consider the case of a thickness of a wire measured using a screw gauge. The readings taken may be different for different trials, and in this case the trial readings are taken in an experiment and the readings are A1, A2, A3 dash 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 till AN. That means the last number of reading. Now the arithmetic mean AM is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3 plus dash 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 AN divided by N. Here N is the number of trials. Then we have to summation. AM is equal to 1 by N. We take the N number of experiments common, and summation if N I is equal to 1, A into or AI. See, let's see the procedure to be followed to minimize the experimental errors. Okay, if we are doing this errors continuously, then we cannot finalize the values. So we have to minimize these errors. For that, the first column we have the type of errors, then the example, then how to minimize it, the measures to minimize the errors. Now let's see the random errors. Suppose you measure the mass of a ring 3 times using the same balance and get slightly different values. That means 15.46 gram, 15.42 gram and 15.44 gram. To take more data, random errors can be evaluated through statistical analysis and can be reduced by averaging over a large number of observations. That means if you take a large number of observations like 15.45, 15.43 at some other, then you can get an average mean value. If the mean value if you receive the mean value, then it will be the correct value of that ring, mass of that ring. Then systematic error. Suppose the cloth tape measure that you use to measure the length of an object has been stretched out from years of use. As a result of all of the length measurements are not correct. So systematic errors are difficult to detect and can be analyzed statistically because of all the data in the same direction, either too high or too low. Okay, let's move to the gross error. The error caused due to the sheer carelessness of an observer is called gross error. For example, reading an instrument without setting it properly, taking observations in a wrong manner without bothering about the source of errors and the precautions. We have to take precautions to eradicate the errors. Then third one, recording wrong observations like our physical education teachers. Then fourth one, using wrong values of the observations in calculations. If you use a wrong formula, then the value will be wrong. These errors can be minimized only when an observer is careful and mentally alert. Students, remember, for this examination we are going to take the first lesson full with 1 word, 2 mark, 3 mark and 5 mark. Okay, the question will be out of the 35. So take care, study well. I will provide the notes for this first lesson as soon as possible. You can collect these notes from our library miss. Thank you.